One of the recycling heroes we selected last year was a youth in Nigeria. He upcycled the use of PET plastic bottles. He worked with his local community, collecting PET bottles and converting that into a ladies' toilet for a school in Nigeria.
Ranjit Baxi. Today we had a talk with the founding president of the Global Recycling Foundation. He has been in the industry for the last 35 years. As an advisory council member, was involved in the development of the UK government's 25 years environment plan.
Good morning, Mr. Ranjit. It's been 1 year since last time we took the interview with you. So how was it? How was this year?
First of all, thank you for organizing this interview. I think MyScrap is doing a great work across the industry, so it's nice to share this interview with your readers across the world. This last 12 months has been very interesting. Coming out of COVID, I think 2023 has been the first year where businesses are probably in a state of getting more comfortable in terms of getting supplies of raw material, in terms of getting logistics in place, in terms of being able to manufacture with the lockdowns out of the way. So it has been a challenging year, but it's a year where I've been seeing industry rolling back to its pre-COVID position. Recycling is a story that is not told enough. Basically, what we are saying is the journey to net zero has got many, many more miles to travel. And as I see the journey we have to travel, especially in developing economies, a long way. And that's what is keeping me more excited to still remain in this industry. In the last 6 years, we have introduced this concept of identifying unsung heroes. Global Recycling Day is playing a very important part in connecting with all our consumers across the world. They are the ones who will help us in sorting the waste better, in promoting better collection, and in promoting better consumption, reducing waste. So all these things has got to start with the civil society. But last year, something very interesting we did. We launched this one, 2030 Vision for Africa. Africa is an important continent. One of the recycling heroes we selected last year was a youth in Nigeria. What he did is he upcycled the use of PET plastic bottles. He worked with his local community, collecting PET bottles and converting that into a ladies' toilet for a school in Nigeria. So I think this initiative of this young man and his colleagues in Nigeria will probably be followed up by many other countries across Africa and other parts of the world. Cop28 is really being held at a very opportune time for the industry to transform this global story of climate change into deliverables. What we really need is, it's not time for rhetorics, it's time for action. AI is really the story of the next decades now, going to 2050. The growth of AI industry is going to be like 35-37% per year. I see AI intelligence to be part of our solution process, that we will be able to improve efficiency, collection systems, and cost of sorting in being able to generate product which becomes more and more 100% clean raw material, free of contamination. India is one of the few economies in the world that is growing very rapidly. The industrial growth across India is phenomenal. The middle classes are growing very rapidly. Another thing I see, the growth of e-commerce. I mean, I am in United Kingdom. In UK, the trade contributed by e-commerce is about 170 billion pounds per year at the moment. But we are saying by 2030-35, this will grow to something like 500 billion. Everyone in India, as you know, has got not one, but many of them even have two phones, one for business, one for private. So the digital growth is growing in trillions in terms of data consumption. When China was buying something like 25 to 28 million tons of we are talking of recovered fiber, not plastic for the moment. And if you're talking that much of recovered fiber for recycling, of which America, United States supplied about 12 million, Europe supplied about 10 million, Japan about 3.5 million, and Australia about 1 to 1.5 million, and the rest came from Europe, part of the world, from GCC countries, from Hong Kong and other countries in Africa. So all that has stopped all of a sudden. So for a few years, the market was a little bit lost, that where will this surplus fiber now be diverted to? The good news is Europe developed new capacities, started coming on stream. Vietnam started growing, Indonesia started growing, India started growing. So I see for the paper industry, the future is reasonably bright, but we should not be over-regulated. My thoughts for 2024 is, let us be innovative. Let us accept the change that the market requires. Let us promote regulations that increases awareness and education with the civil society. Let us get the manufacturers to incorporate larger and larger percentage of recycling raw material in their manufacturing cycle. And therefore, let us try to harness the powers of artificial intelligence into the system so that we are able to achieve our goals.
Thank you so much for such an interesting conversation. I wish you a good day, and we will see you next year.
Thank you, and I'm very much looking forward to a very successful Cop28, because I believe Dubai or UAE is where new ideas, new vision and innovation is born. So Cop28 will give birth to some transformational changes in achieving net zero. Good luck. Thank you very much.